So today I am replacing a speedo cable in a 61 Cadillac. And it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. 3 7/16 bolts take out, switch this around, takes out this piece and a little tiny one that goes right there. This little hand turn bolt. But the speedo cable is actually really easy to access. So the speedo cable comes through the firewall and screws onto that right there, which is really accessible, surprisingly. I had to pop the grommet off. Looks like that. It has a little split in it so it can come off. And I pulled the cable out, which is right here. That's that part that screws on. And now for the transmission part. I'm gonna have to jack the front of the car up because I'm 6'2", 250, and you just don't squeeze under there very well. So once I get the car jacked up, I will see what the other end looks like. Mind you, I've never done this on a Cadillac before. So I got the car jacked up, and this car weighs so much. I don't think I have to explain that, it being a Cadillac. If it were to fall off the jacks, it would absolutely crush you, and that would be the end of the story. And I don't know about you, if you've looked at reviews on Harbor Freight jack stands and whatnot, there are cases of people dying from the jack stand failure. So I leave it on the lowest setting. As you can see, the bar is on the ground. And I found a nice flat spot to put it on. Since there's no real good areas under here, I jacked the car up off that center section right there. Next thing you want to do is shake the car, see if you can knock it off the jack stands before crawling underneath it. I could barely get it to wiggle. That's a good sign. Let's try left to right. Absolutely not. A tiny. But we're still up. And this is the part that I used right there because it's a flat spot. And it's all rounded. And I could probably squirt a jack stand out if bad things happened. So now that I got it safe, I'm gonna crawl under the car and see where that end of the cable leads to the transmission. Okay, so before I take it out of the transmission or pull this cable out, I just copied its path so it'll go back in the same way. Okay, so under the car, here's the pan to the transmission, and it's right behind it. I already unthreaded it a little bit, but so that one's out now. I have the new one fed through. Here's the old one. There's the new one sitting there. I can now, sorry, doing this with a cell phone. Now I gotta stab that into there. And trying to do this one-handed. Okay, got it started. A 60-year-old grace falling into my eyes. It's good times. All right, the new one's in the transmission. Now to connect it on the other end. And me being my size, being under that dash, more good times. All right, so back at the top. This, I'll try to line it up so it will fall into place where the other one did. Hopefully this one's not like a different length or something, because it looks like I got a bunch of slack. But we'll see once I get in the car. And I could probably figure something out. If you're working on someone else's car like I am, make sure to clean these fucking mitts before you go and get into a pristine, clean car. All right, here we go. I just gotta find where the cable went. Found that. There we go. And now, try to get it on there. Shouldn't be too difficult. Just like before, stab that in. Oh, come on. I'm gonna need both hands. We'll get back to that. But there you go. Stab it in the hole, thread that part on. So now it's on there. I was having a little bit of problem. The cable within the cable was sticking out too far. I had to push it back in to give myself the room for that cap to thread on. So if you run into that little issue and you think you got the wrong cable, you don't. Everything is fine. So now to go back under the hood and make sure it looks as good as it did before. Wish me luck. Make sure you get the grommet back in, keeps water out. I obviously have a little more work to do to get that to pop in correctly. But here's the new issue. Look how much slack there is. That should be tucked up against the brake booster. So now I gotta get back into the car and see what the fuck is going on.